In continuation with the explanation of pipelining in the previous session, this video introduces the concept of processor arrays. A vector computer is capable of handling multiple executions on vectors and scalars. Hope you all remember the basics that we have learned in our school math, that a vector is a set of scalar values. There are two ways to implement a vector computer. One is through a pipelined vector processor. This implementation makes use of the concept of pipelining that we have learned in the previous session. The second implementation is the processor array, in which there are multiple processing elements which does the same operation at the same time but on different data. A processor array is an array. When we hear the term array, we think of memory units, but here it is the array of processing units. These array processors provide a high degree of parallelism. So before going into the categories of processor array, let's compare the functioning of vector processing and processor array. The diagram given here, you can see a set of assembly language instructions having 4 mnemonic instructions. In an array processor of 4 processor elements, P0, P1, 2 and P3. If you look at each clock cycle, all the processing elements are executing the same instruction on different data elements. Now look at the vector processing. If you remember the concept of pipelining that you have learned already, vector processor works in a pipelined mode. In the first cycle, the first instruction gets executed for the first data element. The same data element is then passed on to the second instruction in the second cycle. And by the time the first instruction is executed with the second data element. So there are basically two types of array processors. One is attached array processor and second one is SIMD array processor. An attached array processor improves a general purpose computer on its numerically exhaustive task. It is more of kind of an auxiliary processor. SIMD processor is a single computer having many processors operating in parallel. Here in this figure, you can see that a single main computer controls the array of processing elements and with a common memory. Now, let's see this diagram. The primitive processors labeled as P is attached to its own local memory labeled as M. They are connected using a network. And altogether, they are controlled by a front-end computer which has got its own console, its own CPU, memory and I/O processors. This slide shows the die photograph of processors, one of the first generation chip and one the second generation chip. The performance of a processor array is the amount of work done per unit time. Now let's move on to measuring the performance of a processor array. The performance of a processor array is the amount of work done per unit time. Here it is the number of operations executed per second. Assume an array of 1024 processors, each one capable of adding a pair of integers in just 1 microsecond. The performance of this array for adding 1024 pairs can be measured by the number of operations divided by the time taken for each operation. Here it is given that the addition of pair of integers takes 1 microsecond and there are 1024 processor elements. So altogether there are 1024 pairs to add. The number of operations is equal to 1 microsecond because in just a second all the additions will be over. So the performance is given by 1024 operations divided by 1 microsecond, which is equal to 1024 divided by 10 raised to minus 6, which is equal to 1024 into 10 raised to 6 operations per second. So hope you are clear with the calculation. So try to find out the performance of an array of 512 processors. And each processor is capable of adding a pair in 1 microsecond. So find out the performance of this array to add 600 pairs of integers. So here it takes 2 microseconds to complete the entire 600 additions. And 600 divided by 2 microseconds is equal to 600 divided by 2 into 10 raised to minus 6, which is equal to 300 into 10 raised to 6, which is even simplified into 3 into 10 raised to 8 operations per second. Another aspect of the processor array is its interconnection network. The most popular type of interconnection network used in a processor array is a 2D mesh, which you have learned in an earlier session. 2D mesh is a relatively straightforward implementation in VLSI, where a single chip can contain large number of processors. The processor array exhibits a synchronous behavior, but at certain point of time, the data elements may not be equal to the same number of processing elements. When there is only a subset of the processing elements are required, we need to enable or disable the processing element to opt out from the next execution. Therefore, each processor has a masking bit to control this enabling and disabling. Suppose all the processing elements are distributed with a set of integers. The instruction is to convert every non-zero value to 1 and every 0 to a minus 1. So let's look into it. First, the processor will check for whether the value given to that particular processing element is a 0 or not. If it is a 0, it will set its masking bit. So it will not be executing the next statement, which is converting every non-zero to a 1. In the next clock cycle, the masking bits are now flipped. All the processing elements which has a 0 now will execute the next instruction. Now all the 0 values will be converted to a minus 1. So here you can see the usage of masking bit in enabling and disabling the processing elements in a conditional execution. As a conclusion, though the processor arrays provide a high level of parallelism, it is suitable for a data parallel system rather to a task parallel system. As the number of conditional executions increase, it affects the performance of the array, and it does not scale well to a very large system. To conclude this video, I would suggest you to look for Solomon project in Westinghouse. Thank you all.